Hola everybody! Kaipacha with a weekly Pele report for January 5th of the great year 2022. Starting off the big one here, and we just had that new moon moving on in Capricorn, and then she went into Aquarius, and today, as I am speaking, okay, I believe that she is just gone into Pisces. Look I found a sandy beach. How about that? And then and look at this big rock just like sitting there. This is great. Anyway, got to make this report kind of quick here because got to get on with business. We have a Sun conjunct Venus exact on Saturday. Inferior conjunction. Venus in between the Earth and the Sun. I'm going to be talking about Venus, Sun. That's the big event really happening this time. Along with Mars moving through Sagittarius is, coming into a square with Neptune. Sag to Pisces, Mars to Neptune. Okay, kind of wild energy. Balancing out in very many ways, the Capricorn conservative energy. So, it's pretty spiffy. The moon, like I say, comes around and joins with Neptune. Just later on today, actually, and then on Thursday goes into a sextile, basically a midpoint between the Sun and Uranus. Right, the Sun in Capricorn, Moon, Uranus in Taurus. Pisces is right in the middle of that. Anyway, I don't need to get too techie with you guys. In the meantime, Mercury is cruising along over there and is coming into a sextile with Chiron. And then the Sun sextiles Neptune on Monday. Moon moves around through Aquarius, through Pisces, goes into Aries on Saturday, and on Sunday we have the first quarter square. 19 degrees Aries, 27 minutes, the moon over there, into a 19 degrees, 27 minutes of Capricorn. Yeah, so don't forget Venus is retrograde, so she's going down. Sun is coming up, moving on through Capricorn. Let me find a little spot here to look at the camera and give you some interpretation there. All right, everybody. Ow! Got my little hat. I got this the last time I was down in Peru. I'm getting excited about Peru. There's one spot left. One spot left if you want to come to Peru. There's a link for the Warriors down in the notes. Heading off to Tulum, Mexico next week, and doing an event down there with a whole bunch of other people. There's a link for Tulum, Mexico. Mexico is open, like you don't need anything to get into Mexico. Gotta love it. I know a lot of people going down to Mexico a lot now. And I know people even getting some property there. But anyway, yeah. For now, yeah, I'm here, and this is kind of there's a little bit of a tug of war going on. Doesn't have to be a tug of war. Like I said at the beginning, the Mars square Neptune can be complementing the Sun, Venus, Mercury, Pluto in Capricorn. Jupiter also over there in Pisces, getting a little more wild. But there's a lot of shift, a lot of change. We are in a big period of deep transformation that has to do with the Sun conjunct Venus. And I'm going to have to give you a little astrology background to fully understand, okay, how this works. What happens is, let's say that the Sun is out here and I'm the Earth. Venus comes in between the Earth and the Sun. This is called an inferior conjunction, okay? So while she is approaching, okay, she is going to be an evening star. So let's put it that the Sun, the Sun is going and Venus is, Venus is up above the Sun as it sets. This is the horizon. And what she's been doing now is getting lower and lower and lower in the western sky until she comes into this conjunction where she is now. Okay? So she has been setting in the western sky. And of course that's what it's kind of difficult to go around. But in general, what we can say is the Venus cycle is a 584-day cycle. And she only does this, passing through, right? Like she only goes retrograde like every 542 days. She goes retrograde less than any other planet in our solar system. So if you have Venus retrograde in your natal birth chart, you are special. And she doesn't stay retrograde for very long, okay, right? It's only like 40 days or so, like 40 days, 40 nights. Anyway, so what happens now is when she is, basically when she sets after the Sun rises and she rises after the Sun, follows the Sun around, and is an evening star. So we don't see her in the morning, we only see her in the evening. Dane Ridyer called this the Hesperus Venus energy. And you can even notice if you have this Venus Hesperus energy in your natal birth chart, if your Sun is at an earlier degree than Venus. She was an evening star when you were born. Now, whenever she gets within 10 degrees of the Sun, we can't see her anymore. They call that combust. And the ancients called that the underworld because you can't see her. The Sun is so brilliant that she disappears. And this is where we call she goes into the underworld, okay? Now, that happened. So she went up, and started stationing retrograde December 19th, okay? And she's going to, go right on back down until this conjunction. And that conjunction is, like we say, it's January 8th. It's on Saturday, this weekend. And there is this period from January 3rd to January 15th where she is absolutely invisible. She is going through her deep transformation from Hesperius, a setting star, into the Luciferic energy, okay, which is that she will emerge as a morning star, okay, when she comes out from underneath the underworld. So you're not going to see her in the West anymore for another, more than a year, okay? And she's going to then become this morning star from January 15th until February 4th, where she's just going to emerge. You can get up very early in the morning and you will see her rise before the Sun. And she reaches her maximum point of brilliance on February 14th. Now this Luciferic, this morning star energy is youthful. It's the warrior goddess. She's dramatic, youthful, acting like Aries energy. It's like this new burst of this powerful feminine energy. Boom. Okay? And the Hesperus is think before you act, more of like Virgo energy. Okay? So we have been really since, when was it? Oh gosh, it was since May. Since last May, she has been an evening star. So most of 2021, Venus was an evening star. And it was like thoughtful, thought, and then, move on, what you are attracted to and what you want and what you desire, yeah? And so now in this underworld, there is this combustible time of deep inner transformation, and she will emerge coming out of this. Boom! This is actually a very good time in terms of like ritual, in terms of ceremony. It's a very powerful time. And of course, this is also we're still in the 12 nights of Christmas. If you're into the Steiner anthroposophy, you have the Epiphany happening on January 6th. It's amazing how these things are occurring now at the same time of year. This is a good time to spend some time alone, to go inward, and to really allow yourself. It's almost like the caterpillar builds the cocoon and then dissolves itself. We're moving from the past, and we've come into this is a cocoon 2-week period from January 3rd to January 15th, where you are inwardly undergoing a powerful transformation, and you can emerge renewed, recharged, youthful, energetic once again as Venus rises in the east in just a couple of weeks. Come to Tulum. It'll be just in time, baby. It's so, and it's so tripped out, right, that we've got this, Mercury is, doing this, its retrograde trip is coming here on the 14th. Mercury goes retrograde, and on the 15th, Venus, kind of is seen in the east. There's so much to explore and go into during this period of time, because and I'm really feeling this energy. I'm feeling, and you may be feeling yourself. We are going through a lot of changes, and a lot of these changes can create a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a lot of a desire to retract, right? Retrograde, retract, reflect, go inward, rebel against the past. Yeah, reject. So this is a real time of stripping away, letting go of old habits, letting go of old conditions, relationships, property, possessions, belief systems, ideologies, goals, dreams, fantasies. This is just like erase chalkboard and create space in your heart, create space in your mind, create space in your life for the new, so that you will be able to welcome in the new. Yeah. And this is so much of what this is really all about. So yeah, so funny, I came up with the this week's mantra in the middle of the night. 2:30 for some reason, man. I just get woken up, so I completely forget the mantra. I went back to sleep after I wrote it. But this is the Sabian symbol for the the 19th degree of Capricorn. And this is where, the exact lineup of the Earth, Venus, and the Sun. And Pluto is not that far off. Mercury is not that far off, right? So there's a lot coming to this, but the picture is a 5-year-old child carrying a bag full of groceries. Rising to the occasion when asked to assume social responsibilities ahead of one's normal development. That's what we got to do here. Society is like tanking, and maybe we may not feel ready for it, but guess what? We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones that need to create this new paradigm, this new reality, whether we feel strong enough, ready enough, old enough, smart enough, powerful enough to take on Goliath or not. What seems to be implied at this stage of the cyclic process is the value of early conditioning in teaching one how to fulfill the responsibilities of everyday life in our modern society. This 20th scene of the complete process has been entitled Group Performance. And today it is evident that children at an early age are expected to assume a family role, which at times will strain their natural capacities. This is part of the accelerated pace of our technological society. A pattern of accelerated growth can thus be established with both positive and negative aspects. Rushing ahead of one's natural development may be damaging, yet we are living in a particularly dynamic period of our evolution. I'm feeling a little stressed these days. I gotta say, I'm feeling a little rushed because I want to put out what seems to me to be my predictions for the next, not only 2022, but maybe the next 5 or 10 years, what I see coming. And I want to do it well, and I want to do it right, and I need to do it before I leave, and so I'm feeling this kind of like urgency. We may all be feeling this kind of urgency because we can psychically sense the tension within the collective unconscious, the Wetiko, the mass psychosis, as Robert Malone identifies the Wetiko, in his Joe Rogan interview. We can talk about that later. But you get this whole kind of energy here that things are going to be unraveling, and we do need to step up. That's why I have today's song is Bachman Turner Overdrive, taking care of business. And it's a shame that the little girl, this little Venus within us, has to carry the bag of groceries. I mean, it's like, we have this youthful quality, and all I want to say is let's tap into that kind of innocent, like this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us to invent new ways of connecting, of building bridges, of surviving. Goes into, what I talked about in my whole energy around the astrology of 2022. With the Pluto polarity point in Cancer, the North Node going into Taurus. This is very much about, gathering my nuts like the squirrel that we talked about. So, and some of that also has to be, how can I say, this transformation is an inner transformation that will change our perspective on what's going on out there, so that we are not a victim of the external disaster. We are, we're in our cocoon, we're in our space, we are growing inwardly, we are maturing, and we are refining, evolving, getting better all the time. It's getting better all the time because each one of us inwardly is getting better all the time. And our relationships, the quality of our relationships can get better all the time, even in the midst of adversity. Sometimes adversity even brings us together in ways that we would never have come together before. That's very healing. So, the mantra for today is through contrast and compassion, I learn what's right for me. So the older I get, the more you can bet what you see is the best I can be. I want to tie that into all of this. Capricorn is the elder energy. The child carrying groceries is responsibilities and these duties. So we're all maturing. And I just really wanted to kind of speak today what I have here as the dynamic. Every year I have come out with what that year is in encapsulated form. Not quite a mantra, but my, what do they call it? It's not an icon. I forget, where you shorten something. Acronym, whatever. The year of 2022 is a year of polarization. Due to the revelation of the plan for domination of the entire population. This is a big year of transformation, and it will be polarizing. You can already see it. The inoculated versus the uninoculated, right? The different races, the different financial tiers, the rich and the poor, the political, left and the right, red and the blue in the United States. We can see there is such a polarization happening now, and yet through that polarization, the third dimensional world is that we evolve through duality, through contrast, through polarization. So the farther we get towards one pole, the more clear and obvious we see the contrast, the difference, how really different we are, and how society needs to expand to include an ever-growing spectrum of human consciousness. So we may, it may even be, say, higher or lower, left or right, dark or light, rich or poor, okay, whatever, green or not green, woke or not woke. We've got all this, But this allows us, this contrast and comparison allows us to really choose and decide who we are. Our choices and decisions define who we are. And as we make more decisions and more choices, we mature and we become honed like a sculpture. We get rid of, and we become more us, more true, more evolved, more awakened, more, what you see is what you get. Yeah? With this process of refinement. It's kind of a Virgo kind of a process happening that's going on for us now. So I know this is a lot of material for one Pele report. Like, whoa. I'll just let you sit on that anyway, man. Pop that in your pipe and smoke it. Ow! Yeah, baby. One more time. Oh my God. Through contrast and comparison, I learn what's right for me. So the older I get, the more you can bet what you see is the best of I can be. Yeah. So, be the best that you can be. Yeah, just learn what's right for you. If it's not right for you, this is the time to let it go. Like that, look at that river. Let it go right down that river. Find a river. Toss it into the river, man. Write some stuff on a little piece of paper. Make yourself a little fire ritual. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a little ritual here coming up, this weekend. Fire ritual. You write down what you want to let go of and set it on fire. Let it go. Let it go. Make way for the new. Make room for the new. Find your security in your core, in your center. It's not out there. The outside world is changing. It is not secure. The more that people have placed, and looked for security in the outer temporal world, the more freaked out they are right now. You hear what I'm saying? Because that's what's getting played. We're all getting played. But I'm going to have to save that for another video because, it's really time to go. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.